Hello, welcome to another episode of Healthy Cooking Sessions. This is again Chef Fri Reyes of Scripps Health. Today we are joined by Dr. Nathwani of Ensenada, Scripps. Hello, doctor. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
So today we are going to be cooking mushrooms.
I love mushrooms. I try to eat mushrooms a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
You know, they've actually been classified as a superfood,
Okay.
which is a food that we should be including in our diet as much as possible for all of its health benefits.
See, not only is it good, it actually is a superfood. For our mushrooms today, again, we are going to talk about the basic way of how to cook mushrooms and how to transform it into different things. A mushroom is technically considered a vegetable, but...
That's right. So it's actually a fungi. So it's in the category of a fungi, but because it has so many nutritional benefits, it's been classified as a vegetable.
What are some nutritional benefits that we have of mushrooms, doctor?
Yeah, so mushrooms are very high in vitamins. So things like vitamin B's, vitamin D, which is good for bone development and growth. It's rich in potassium, which can actually help to lower blood pressure. And it's also rich in fiber.
We're going to do a different variation of mushrooms using a Filipino recipe. Let's start with the ingredients that we're going to use and how we're going to use it. Our sauce for adobo consists of soy, you have vinegar, you have garlic, you have bay leaves, and you have peppercorns. So it's a fairly easy dish to make. A lot of people or a lot of Filipinos choose to put a little bit of sugar in it to give it a little bit of sweetness. We are going to do the same thing. We're going to use brown sugar, which is perfect for cooking, right? And then the only other ingredient is water. The way I do it is I add water in increments until it's reduced, and then I add some more until it reduces, and I do that 3 times. We are still going to do a braise. Yes, I'm not going to take away the fact that adobo is supposed to be a slow braised item, right? So we're still doing that, but we're doing it in increments. We're going to add the mushrooms when the last reduction is ready to be, added ingredients to, right? So let's make our sauce. I'm going to take my soy. I hope you don't mind the smell of vinegar and soy because
no,
you will
not
smell
at all.
like
I
it.
love
it. Yeah. So soy and vinegar, right? I'm going to add it to a hot pan.
Okay.
And then I will add my bay leaves. I will add brown sugar, right? Because we want that sweetness in it. I'm going to add my garlic cloves. So I have like around 6 garlic cloves, right? And then I'm going to add my peppercorns. So all I'm doing is I'm going to simmer this. This is very easy because you're simmering it for 15 minutes. That's it. What you're going to do is you're going to take this same exact amount of water. You're going to add it in, right? And then you're going to reduce that until it thickens a little bit. Once it thickens, you're going to add more water to it. You're going to do the exact same thing until it thickens a little bit. You're going to do that 3 times. Once you strain it, this is what it looks like. You see how it's almost
Yeah,
thick?
I do see that.
Like it's shiny, it's thick. That is going to be our sauce base for our mushrooms, right? We're going to use that to braise our mushrooms. So when I say braise, it just means that you're simmering the product in liquid to get all that flavor inside that product, right? But because mushrooms are so easy to cook, you don't want to simmer it for too long because, again, it will turn into mush. The trick is you get some oil and you get some butter, right? And the butter is important. The thing with mushrooms too is it absorbs liquid really, really fast, right? So if you put water in there or if you wash your mushrooms, for instance, right, it absorbs water, especially if you don't drain it out. So what you want to do is you want to, of course, clean your mushrooms, drain it. Once it's drained, then you cut it up into, whatever bite-sized pieces you want. And then you cook it with oil and butter. So this is what your mushrooms look like. We use different kinds of mushrooms. So again, going by the variety of the different mushrooms, you have different types that you can choose from, right? In this particular case, we have oyster, shiitake, trumpet, cremini, and regular white button.
There was actually a recent study that showed that people who substituted mushrooms for a meat product. So instead of eating 100% of the meat product, if they used 20% mushrooms, they actually lost weight.
Which is really, really great. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Yeah. So you see what I mean, how it's not absorbing the olive oil, which normally it would do. And it's actually coating the thing in fat and it's cooking it, right? So that's exactly what we're doing. So all you have to do is pre-cook your mushrooms this way. We want to make use of everything we just made. I'm going to put every single variety of mushrooms inside of it, right? So again, you just cook it till it's golden brown, it's ready to go. So I'm going to put some of the oysters in there. I'm gonna put some of the shiitake just because that's your favorite. So let's put some shiitake.
Thank you.
Of course. And then I had some trumpet mushrooms, which is this big one right here. I cut up into bite-sized pieces, right? So I'll put it in there. And then I'll put some cremini, which is like a baby portobello, right? And then I'm gonna put the regular white button, just because why not?
Smells amazing.
Thank you.
Smells
I haven't
very
done
good.
anything but that's just mushrooms. Imagine that. Just mushrooms and it smells great. So once that's there, right? So once everything is cooking to that stage, right, where everything's golden brown, everything's like cut and cooked to the same exact doneness, and that's important because you don't want one mushroom to be done, the other one not to be done. So once it's to this doneness, then we're gonna put our braising liquid. And the reason why we're putting our braising liquid is again to flavor the dish, right? So I'm gonna take the liquid that we made, which we reduced, right? The vinegar, soy, bay leaf, garlic, peppercorn thing with the brown sugar, and I'm gonna mix it into here. If you think that smells amazing, you should smell this. Yeah, so I'm gonna simmer it. You wanna smell it?
Smells good.
Does that smell good?
Smells delicious.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do my rice, right? I'm gonna put my rice just in the center. So you can use whatever rice you want. I'm using jasmine, but you can use, whatever rice you have at home. After the rice, I will take some sauteed spinach, right? I'm just gonna split it into 4 just because it looks better that way. Just why not? And then we are gonna take our reduced sauce with our. Oh my god, that looks so good. Look at that thing.
It does.
So, you can smell it. It smells so good. So the sauce is actually reduced into the mushrooms. So if you look at the mushrooms, it actually has absorbed the sauce. You can tell because the mushrooms actually look darker, where you see the sauce has penetrated the product, right? Which means that every bite now will have that delicious sauce in it, right? Take some of this mushrooms, and I will put it right on top of my rice. So you want to get all the different kinds in there, so you're able to try all the mushrooms. Oh, found 3 shiitakes, so you're good. So let's do that. And then I'm gonna take some of this sauce, right? And the thing with adobo, as you know, is the sauce makes it, right? So it's like you have to have the sauce. Put it around. And then I'm gonna take my poached egg, put it right on top, right there. So when you cut that open, the yolk will get all over the rice and the mushrooms, and you get this like really fatty like finish to the dish, which is always good, right? And then we are gonna garnish it with a little bit of fresh herbs to give it that fresh bite, right? In this case, we're gonna do micro cilantro because it adds a really good flavor to what Filipino food is. Has that nice, delicious, fresh bite to it, and that is your mushroom adobo dish.
Looks delicious. Thank you for showing me how to make that.
Doctor, thank you for coming out and all the amazing information about mushrooms and the benefits of eating mushrooms. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the recipe.
I learned so much today. I appreciate it.